Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, yesterday we have seen like creating a storage account and the different types of storage account and some of their features, right? So today let's see how we can import and export the data. Okay, import, export the data to storage account. Okay, import is nothing but uploading and exporting nothing but a downloading. Okay, so let's see how we can do this now. So we can use the two Microsoft native tools. Okay, one is like a storage explorer, and we also use AG copy. Storage explorer is a kind of UI based, okay, wherein you will be having a user interface to perform activities, and whereas coming to the AG copy, it is kind of command line base. Okay, so we'll discuss in detail about these two today. And before that, okay, let me go ahead and create a storage account in our subscription. Yesterday I have cleaned up everything, so let me go ahead here. I'll create a new storage account. I can choose the storage account directly from here. And in here, okay, so let me go ahead and create a new resource group, and I would say, okay, so storage rg01. Okay, and I'm going to create a new storage account, and I'll say this as a test storage account, and I'll give the today's date, and today's date is 25, right? 26, would say 05. Yeah, so it is accepting, that is fine. Let's go with the only month, and I'm going to host in a use to use region, and the rest of the details, okay, this, okay, let's go with the LRS. Later I'll see how we can change it to the GRS. And the rest other option, like keeping this in the soft delete and all other options, I'm going with the defaults. Okay, great then. Okay, so let me review and create it for now. In the meantime, okay, so I'll create one more storage account also, because okay, I wanted to show you okay how we can upload the no, move the data between the storage accounts also. So in the meantime, I'll show you how we can do it from the local system. And let me go here. Let me create a new storage account. I'll go here, create a storage account. Yeah, I'll put it in the same resource group. If at all, if you wanted to have a different resource group, anything you are fine. It should be anywhere. And here, okay, so this time I'll name it as a demo 2021 and 05. Yes, it is accepted. And this time, okay, let's say I'll go with a different region. Earlier I created in a used to yes, right? So this time I India region. Okay, let's say somewhere around central India. Okay, and the remaining options I'm going with the defaults. Okay, for now let me keep it as an LRS, and I'm going with the defaults. Okay, so it is running the final validation, and it is done, and we can just simply create it. Cool. So now if I go back to this particular resource group, okay, so this is the storage RG which I have created just now. So if I go back here, and I should be having a two resource group, I mean two storage accounts. So one is with the test storage account, and one more will be the demo storage account. And today let's see how we can manage the data between these two storage accounts, and how we can upload the data, how we can download the data by using the specific tools called storage explorer and easy copy. So first of all, let's talk about storage explorer. So before that, okay, if you wanted to use the storage explorer, you have to download it. So for that, okay, you can just say uh, storage explorer for Azure download. Okay, so just navigate to the Microsoft document page here, and from here, okay, so from the downloads page, okay, here you could see Azure storage explorer, and depends on your operating system. Okay, let's say currently I'm using Windows. If you are using something like Linux or maybe any Mac, okay, you can choose it and you can just simply say download. So when you download it, okay, a setup file will be downloaded, and you have to run that setup file, and go to the next, and you will be done. And once you are done, okay, so just search for the storage explorer. Okay, so here is the storage explorer which I already opened it here. Okay, so this is how the storage explorer looks like, and how to add a subscription. Okay, let me do one thing. So let me remove this connection first, so that I'll show you from the beginning. Okay, so let me remove this account also from here. Fine. So by default, okay, whenever you open a storage explorer, okay, for the very first time, okay, so it will show like this. Okay, this is the UI, interface. Okay, Microsoft Azure Storage Explorer. If at all, if you wanted to connect to any one of the Azure account or any specific storage account, okay, we have a option called, this is a connection option. Okay, as soon as you click on it, okay, here it will ask you, like, select a resource. Okay, you wanted to connect to directly to the subscription. When you connect to the directly to the subscription, it will display all the list of storage accounts present under your subscription. Or you wanted to connect to only specific storage account. Okay, if at all, if you wanted to connect to a specific storage account, okay, we have a features. Whereas, like, let me go back to the storage accounts. So first, okay, I'll start with the demo storage account. So here, so when I log in directly with a subscription, by default I'm able to see those two storage account, what I'm able to see here. But if at all, if I wanted to connect to any specific storage account, okay, I can connect using this particular, uh, keys. Let me come down. Uh, just a second. They made some changes, it seems. Yeah. Okay. So under the security and the networking, okay, here you could see an option called keys. Okay, so using these keys, okay, we can directly connect to only this specific storage account. Okay, so when I go to the access keys, and if I click on this particular show keys, okay, so here you could see this is the connection string and key. Okay, it is displaying. We can just simply copy this any one of the key, and we can just only connect to this particular storage account. Okay, so let's see, instead of me connecting to directly to the subscription, let's see how to connect using the keys now. So I go here and I say in a storage account or a service. Okay, so when I click on storage account and service, okay, here it is asking me either account name and key or SAS token. Okay, so SAS token is one of the additional feature. SAS is nothing but a shared access signature. So this is very important on a storage account level. So whereas if at all, if you wanted to restrict some access for the any one of the user for granting a permission to the storage account, okay, we can generate a SAS token. Okay, we'll talk about it in a bit. So for the remain another storage account, that is test storage account, I'll show you how to connect using SAS token. Okay, if at all, if you want it, okay, you can directly connect using a subscription itself, but that is very easy. But let's see how we can connect using these keys now. So I'll go with the connection string here. So here you could see when I went into the access keys, okay, so when I generated a keys, okay, here I could see the connection string. Okay, I simply copy this complete, key. Okay, so whereas it has the all the storage account name, okay, and account key, and some other thing stuff. So let me go back and let me click on next. And here, okay, I'm just putting the connection string. And when I put the connection string, and by default, okay, storage account name will be displayed here. Okay, so when I click on next, okay, so here it will give the all the complete details about the storage account name and the key details. And the endpoint protocol, okay, it is running on a HTTPS protocol. Okay, let me click on connect. And if you see here, so this is my storage account, okay, which I have connected using keys. It will show you, okay, how we have connected here. Okay, I think, okay, these are the two remaining, okay, which I connected earlier. Okay, I'm just detaching it. If at all, if you wanted to remove certain storage account, you can say detach. So let me detach this as well. All right, and if you see here, this particular storage account I connected using a key, and you can see here, right, same way. Okay, let me quickly connect to the another storage account. I'll just simply duplicate this window, and I'll navigate back to this another storage account, that is test storage account. So I'll go back here. Let me go to the storage accounts, and here is the test storage account. So this test storage account, okay, instead of keys, okay, instead of this particular access keys, I wanted to connect using shared access signature, that is SAS token. So I'm just clicking on a SAS token. So this is very important. So typically, let's say if you wanted to grant a permission to the storage account for any developers or some any, additional teams wherein to upload some data or to capture some data from the storage account, okay, so we can generate a SAS token instead of giving access key. Because what happens is when you give a access key, you are granting a full control on a storage account level. But whereas with a shared access signature, that is SAS token, we can restrict the privileges. That means, let's say here, Okay, a shared access signature UIA that grants a restricted access rights to other storage resources. Okay, how we can restrict? Let's say, okay, here you could see allowed services. Okay, so my storage account has these four type of storage types. So I wanted to grant a permission to the only blob storage. That means, so when I generate a SAS token with the only blob, you will be able to see the only blob related storage account related data. You will be not allowed to do, see and do any activities related with the remaining storage accounts. Okay, so for now I'll go with a file also, because I'm going to show something extra with a file also. And coming to the allowed resource type, like you wanted to get an object, or you wanted to create a container or service. Okay, so based on that, okay, you can give this particular details. And here you could see the allowed permissions. So this is very important. So what type of permissions you wanted to give it, like whether you wanted to give only read access for your data, or write access to upload some content. Okay, so maybe you can disable the delete permission, because if you give the delete permission, okay, by mistake, if you delete something, okay, again it will be a problem. Okay, so you can just remove the delete permissions, okay, while you generating a SAS token. And you can say create and add and all other stuff, whatever the restrictions that you wanted to perform. Okay, you can do it here. So for now I'll keep the delete also. And update and process, okay, I think it is default disabled. With this, okay, these two will come. Okay, for now I'm just generating complete. And here you could see blob versioning permissions. Okay, I'm enabling the versioning permissions also. And index permissions also I'm keeping for the read write. And this is very important. Okay, we can set a start date and end date for this particular SAS token. That means we can set a expiry date, so that whatever the expiry date that you keep it here, within this time range only, he will be able to use this SAS token. So once this time range is crossed, okay, he will be not able to use it. Let's say by a file or a queues and table, you can give only these specific storage account connections. Let's come back. So say access signature URL. Okay, okay, okay. I think it is asking this URL instead of this connection strings. Okay, this specific URL I need to specify. So if at all, if I wanted to connect to any specific service, okay, it is asking to connect this way. So if not, okay, let's do one thing. I'll go to the same storage here. Okay, I'll go with this particular, instead of URL, I'll go with the only SAS token as a connection string. Okay, let me go to the next. So this time here, I'll pass this particular SAS token connection string. Okay, let me copy this and I'll put it here, and you will be able to see that this is the particular test storage account. I'll go to the next, and you could see here. Okay, this is the display name and account name, and these are the endpoints for the four different storage accounts. That is like a blob storage, file share, queues, and tables. I told you, right, whenever we create a storage account, a specific endpoint will be created. And here you could see the difference. Here is the blob, file, queues, and tables, and the remaining core.windows.net will be the same, and it will be starting with the HTTPS colons storage account name. Okay, so this is the SAS token, and you can just click on connect. And once it is connected, okay, here you will be able to see, okay, this particular storage account be connected using a SAS token, and this storage account be connected using a key. And when I extract this particular two storage accounts, here I could see all the services related to the storage accounts. Let's say I wanted to upload some data now. Okay, here by default I have a container called logs. Okay, if at all, if I wanted to create a new container, how I did, okay, I went into the portal, and this is the test storage account, right? Okay, so here if at all, if I wanted to create a new container, I went into the blob. From here I created a new container, right? So the same thing I can perform from here also. Let's say for the test storage account, if at all, if I wanted to create a new container, I can simply right click and I would say create a blob container. Okay, so here I would say test container. Okay, since we are following the naming standard as a test for the storage account, I would say test container and click on enter. A specific container will be created with the name called test, whatever the name you have given. So if I come back to the portal and if I do refresh, okay, the same thing will be displayed here as well. Okay, so we're just operating this entire creation of container and uploading the data by using a storage explorer. And let's say here also, okay, I wanted to create a one more container, and this I'll say demo container. And if I go back to the portal and if I go back to this particular storage account, demo storage account, and if I go to the overview page, and from here if I navigate to the blob services, so here I could see the demo container which is created just now. All right, So if I come back here, so let's say now I wanted to upload some data. Okay, so into this particular container, so if at all if I wanted to upload some data, okay, via portal, what I have done, I went into the container, and within a container I uploaded some data directly here. But if at all if you wanted to perform using this particular storage explorer, so now I'm under a container. Here you could see I'm under container. So within this container I can see all these features. I can upload, download, and create a new folder, or select all, copy, paste, clone, delete, and delete, all these features. Let's upload some content here for now. Okay, let me click on down upload. Or you wanted to upload a folder or a files. Okay, so let me upload a files for now. So when I click on upload a files, okay, so it will simply navigate to local system for uploading your content. And here you could see, okay, we need to select the files. Okay, let me select the files here. And here, okay, so if I go to my desktop, okay, here I could see some content here. Let's say I wanted to upload some any one of the image here. Okay, let's say I have a specific image called IAS start. Okay, let me click on open. And when I click on this particular pmg file, by default here you could see the blob type. It is storing as a blob. Okay, so we have a within a blob also we have a three different storage types, right? Blob, PS blob, and append blob. So this particular image file will becomes under a blob. Okay, so here you could see uploaded VHD or VXD files as a page blob recommended. Okay, it is coming taking as a default, and let me click on upload. Okay, so here you could see the progress here. Okay, I'm just copying from this particular so and so location to this particular container using a SAS token. And once it is done, okay, so you'll be able to see, and you can see the status as a succeeded. Okay, I copied some data here, and if at all if I wanted to copy download this data again, I can just click on a download. And if I wanted to copy this file, I can simply copy. And if at all if I wanted to move the same file to another container, okay, so from here, okay, I can just simply copy. I can go back to the another container, and here I can just simply paste it. Okay, I can just move the data between the containers also. Here you could see I'm just copying the data from the demo container to test container. Okay, here you could see I just copied the data. So likewise, let's say if at all if you have some 100 files here, I can say simply select all. Okay, select all in page, and I can just simply copy it, and I can just simply go back to the another storage account container, and here I can just do a paste. Okay, so this is how, okay, you can manage, okay, so uploading the data and downloading the data, okay, by using a storage explorer. This is specific to the blobs. Okay, so similarly we can also do the same thing for the file saves. Let's say if at all if I wanted to upload some content, okay, so I can use the storage explorer to upload a content between the files. So copying the data between the blob to share will not work, I think. So let's say I'll go back to the file share here, and at this moment I don't have any file save. So for the demo one, okay, I'll create a new file save, and I would say demo file save. Okay, if you go back to the portal, and if I go back to the storage account, this is the demo one, and within here, if I go to this particular file save, okay, so let's go to the file save, and here I could see the demo file save, which is created with the default 5 TB. Okay, so if I get in here, okay, I don't see any content now. So if at all, let's say, let me try, okay, whether I'm able to copy data from a blob container to the file save. I'll go back here and I'll simply copy it, and I'll put it to the files here, and can you see this paste option is by default disabled. That means I can copy the data between the containers, okay, from one storage account container to the another storage account container, or maybe okay, I can create a new container and the same storage account and copy the data between them also. But copying the data between the container to the file share will not work. Let's say I'll create a one more container here also. Let's say, for the test also I'll create a one more file share, and I would say this is like a test file share. Okay, and now I have a two file sets, but now this time I can copy the data between these two file shares. So let's say I will copy some data to this particular file share now. So to do that, okay, simply upload, and let me upload the file. Okay, I'll upload the same this particular image file, and let me click on upload, and you can see the progress is below here. Okay, so it is uploading from so and so location to this particular file save, and once it is done, you will be able to see it here. And if at all, if you wanted to move the same data to the another file share, you can simply copy it. Okay, and you can just go back to the another file share, and you can say paste, and this data will be, here you could see transferring from test file share to the demo file share. Okay, so this is how. Okay, so if at all, if you wanted to upload some data from your local system to storage accounts or a containers or a file share, or you wanted to move the data between the file share or between the containers, okay, so we can do it, okay, using a storage explorer. Okay, so maybe you can do it in a multiple ways, like or maybe like uploading the folders, or maybe downloading them back again and creating a new folder within these particular containers, or within these file shares, and copying, pasting, and cloning. Okay, if I do clone, okay, this particular image file will be cloned. Okay, so since it has the same name, it will not allow. If I change the name, okay, if I do clone, okay, same image will be cloned or copied with another name. Okay, here you could see. Okay, I'm just duplicated the file. Okay, if at all, if you wanted to delete something, okay, so just put it, and you can just say delete, and this particular file will be deleted. Right, so this is how, okay, you can upload and download and manage the data by using a storage explorer. Is a Microsoft native tool. Okay, and this is pretty much about the storage account. And coming back to the AG copy. Okay, so AG copy, like so let's say I'll come back here. So if at all, if you wanted to use the AG copy, okay, so we need to download a AG copy, related binary also. Okay, let's say I would say Azure AG copy download, and here you could see AG copy. So here you could see the Microsoft document. Okay, so get started with an AG copy, and if you come down, okay, here you could see the AG copy related setup files. Okay, so first download the AG copy version 10 executable file to any directory on your local system. AG copy version 10 is just an executable file, so that nothing to install. So we don't need to install this particular file. It's a just execution file. Okay, so let's say I will download the Windows 64, and you would see here. Okay, I downloaded the AG copy, and let me go back to this particular file, and I would say here, okay, extract this particular file now. I'll say extract all. Okay, so now if you see, okay, let me close this window. So I extracted this particular file, and if I open this, okay, I have this particular set of files. So one is like a agcopy.exe, and one more some notice. Okay, if I open this particular notice, you could see some information related to this. Okay, it's like a start of the third party notice and you can just read it. Okay, if you wanted to copy this AG copy from anywhere from your local system, what you can do is simply copy it. Okay, go to this PC, go to your C drive. Within a C drive, go to Windows and you just paste it here. Okay, so I already had it, I'm just replacing it. Okay, and if at all if you wanted to use AG copy from anywhere on your local system, you have to put it into this particular folder. Otherwise you have to set up the environment variables and all of those stuff. So the best simple recommended way is, okay, just copy that setup file and put it into this particular C folder and Windows directory. Let's close this one and I'll open a PowerShell or a CMD for now. Okay, and I just say AG copy. Okay, as soon as I enter a AG copy, it should show me the related commands. Let's say in the meantime, okay, I'll walk you through the document. I think I should not give the space. Let's see. Yeah, I should not give the space. Okay, let's come back here. Let me try to cancel this. If at all if you wanted to cancel some job on a terminal, you can say Control C and you can say yes, and it will be cancelled. Let's say I say AG copy this time, and here you could see AG copy related version. Okay, currently I have downloaded AG copy 10 version 10, and here you could see the certain URLs. Okay, so available commands. Okay, so these are all the commands, okay, to use the AZ copy. Okay, here you could see login. Okay, log into Azure Active Directory to access the storage account resources, and same way